Hey, everybody at home, and hey, everybody here at New York Comic Con. It's lovely to be back on the stage with you, with Pow, and with a very special guest. Please give it up for Jim Cummings. Woo! Now, yes, Jim, over 400 characters that you voiced.
Really?
Yeah, I think so now. I sat and added each one up. Where did you start? What was your very first?
I've been busy, haven't I?
Yes,
I started out as a child, being really annoying, doing the dolphin noises in the back of the room, and Sister Mary Agnes said, "We don't have dolphins at St. Columba." So I've been annoying, professionally annoying for a long time now, and I'm still here.
It's a well-paying job in 2017.
I'm annoying all these people at once, simultaneously.
So you know, strong foundation of being annoying. How did you pivot that into making money?
Well, I remember watching Paul Winchell on television, and Jack Benny had a show back in the ancient times, and Mel Blanc was one of the characters, and my dad says, "You see that guy right there? He's the guy who does Bugs Bunny and Foghorn and all those guys you like and everything." Really? And I thought, well, he's not getting in trouble. He doesn't have to stand in the corner. So I thought I'll do it professionally, and it worked out. I turned Monkey Hour into a career. You know, and I always sang. You know, I was always in bands. And when I was a kid, instead of wanting to be the prince, the 12-year-old prince, I wanted to be the ogre, or the hermit, or the weasel under the bridge or something. You know, so it's a little more fun. Stretch it out a little bit. And I made a demo tape, and that was in '84, and boom.
And when was that big break? When you know?
Well, 84.
No. With your
I didn't
character,
know.
was there
which one?
Which one in
All of
'84?
them. Well, that was
All
Lionel.
of them.
Well,
Lionel the Lion on Dumbo Circus, way back. There was a brand new thing called cable TV.
Okay.
And there was a company called Disney. They had a channel. Apparently, it's working out for them.
I heard of that.
These kids are doing great. But they needed programming, and they were gearing up, ready to do like 120 shows. And I got this audition, and I got that job, and then I got the next one, and then it's like, okay. So now it screwed me up because I wanted to be a waiter.
Oh, yeah. That's what we all aspire to, though.
Now I'm stuck.
Now you're stuck forever with us.
All right, so you had Cecil the Lion at the beginning, but I think it was 1988 where you started actually not just doing your own characters, but helping out and stepping in when other established characters and their voice actors had to step away. So there were a couple roles that you ended up taking over as well, right?
Oh, well, sure, yeah. At that time, Disney and ABC were two separate companies. And somebody thought it would be great to have a show for Winnie the Pooh, bring him back from the 60s, back when I was in the audience. Well, they sent out a general, audition, and I ended up getting the job. And Paul was going back as Winnie the Pooh, but Sterling was retired, the original Sterling Holloway. And Paul Winchell was going back and forth to Africa. He was working on different projects. He's like a scientist, too. God rest their souls, both of them. So I was like Tigger Light for occasionally, and then Paul would come back, and then he'd be Tigger, and then he retired, and now here I am. So yeah, Pooh and Tigger were probably the first two characters that were established. I took over, and then yeah.
Cool. Well, this is less of a character question, but you talk about these people that are in your industry. You know these other voice actors well, and I know to this day, my voice actor friends, it's a community. What is it like being part of this community, seeing it grow, seeing it change over the years?
Well, it's great. I think the voiceover people don't have as big an ego as some of the on camera, because you see they're actors, and we're just folks, with really weird jobs, and we make funny voices and sounds, and everybody seems to enjoy it. So I think it's great. It's a club I'm really happy to be a part of. I'll take it.
Is there one particular voice, or maybe a couple voices, that are maybe the closest to your personality?
Probably Darkwing Ducks, because I'm sort of a sarcastic guy, and I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the bug that splatters across the windshield of crime. I am Darkwing Duck. See?
Yes!
Says so right here. So I think Darkwing's up there.
All right.
Yeah, you got your fans recognize Darkwing Duck as one of your favorites as well, I believe.
I believe they do. I got to tell you, how cool is this? I'm a drummer, and I always bring sticks to the studio to annoy people. Told you I was annoying. And this guy, Eric down here, I met him on the interwebs. like
As you do.
like I met all of us,
That's
right?
awesome.
And he brought me these sticks, and it says, "Let's get dangerous," and it's got Darkwing's logo on it. I mean, I'm a happy guy.
That's incredible.
This is killing me to death, right? Thank you.
Your voice is everywhere. Do you get a lot of fan responses like that? People who recognize you, or maybe people who didn't realize who you were until you spoke?
Sometimes, you know, what'll be weird is that somebody will, you know, they'll say, oh, can you do Winnie the Pooh? And I'll, well, of course, but only for a smackerel of honey. and then, you know, 20 minutes later, they come back. I didn't know you were Taz. It's like, I thought you said you were Pooh. Well, I
Change
didn't
the
say
channel,
it, but
change the
yeah,
channel.
I know. You put it on channel 11. That's Fox. Okay, see, now I'm Taz. And that's what people are. I didn't know you were. Wait a minute. No, that wasn't you. That was you. So I like that.
That's awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You know.
yes.
Well, you were also, you know, not to pick through all bajillion of your characters, but Dr. Robotnik was a personal favorite of mine, and I have
Go
to say,
fig.
like, Sonic is having a big comeback. Are you involved with a lot of
Wow.
these brands as they have these resurgences?
Apparently not.
Well,
Oh,
I'm just
no.
finding out
Y'all
about it
better
now.
call him.
Thanks. God, I'm gonna go eat worms now. No, I don't know. I'll be. You know, if they call me, I'll be there.
all right.
There's always that Darkwing rumor about him coming and doing something somewhere.
The
but,
feature-length movie starring you
well,
in
that's
every
the
role.
that's the one. Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about that?
No, not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Why did I?
Because it's not real.
Aw.
so that's another reason we might as well let it
Hey,
go.
we're talking about the power of the internet. All you have to
That's
do is enough people wish it into
That's
existence.
true, huh?
and it
Yeah,
becomes
let's
true.
start that rumor. We'll keep it all between us and then tell everyone.
Well, in addition to
Makes
the animated series you've done over the years, you've also started doing some video game stuff. How did
yes.
you kind of cross that boundary into video games?
I don't know. They just said, "Would you like to do this too?" And I said, things like, "Okay."
So one of the
Does it
things,
pay money?
one
Yeah.
of the things is Fallout.
Yes.
So-
And you know, it's weird with video games because everybody's more familiar with them than I am. Because when you do video games, you don't even have the other cast members there. Like you don't.
Sure.
Sometimes you do in regular shows, but this is just you and a stack of paper sitting there going, "We'd better run. We'd better not run. Let's just sit. Time to stand up." And you know, and then you. Oh, I'm sorry. What? We're on line 714. Okay. Did I tell you we are done running yet? You know, and it's you know, because you have to do every line and everything. And a lot of you know, I don't do the games where, okay, you're on the 14th moon of Jupiter, and you're falling to our moon, and you're on fire in freezing acid, and go and scream. You know, and I just then you can't talk at the end of the day. So I want to be the guy sitting around a campfire going, "I'm the guy sitting around the campfire. Look at this poor bastard coming out of the sky. Looks like he fell from the 14th moon of Jupiter." I'd rather talk about him than be him, you know what I mean?
So would you
So,
say
yeah.
video games are
They're
equally challenging,
cool.
differently challenging,
Differently,
the most challenging?
differently challenging. No, they're not the most challenging because you're only channeling a little emotion for like 8 words at a time, unless you're doing stories. And that's why I want to be the guy sitting around a fire.
Well, what has been
And,
your most challenging role then?
Boy, gosh. I don't know. All of them or none of them. So I don't think of it as a. I can't. I never did think of it as like work, but it's definitely challenging. But you know, whenever they're not really 100% sure where they want to go with the character and everything, and it's not a challenge so much as it is a thrill to get to contribute to that and push the story along and everything. If there's, you know, that's happened in Clone Wars, and. Well, with Darkwing for sure, and sometimes with Pooh and Tigger, and I just like that when they let you kind of ad lib, and do everything like in Princess and the Frog. I remember. I guess an example would be well, when Ray got. You remember when I got shot out of that man's nose in a wad of snot, don't you? Right? Anyway, you know, and the line was he smacked up Ray from Princess. Did anybody see this movie? No, do you
We
know
did,
what I'm talking
yes,
about?
of
Okay.
course. We got Disney fans in the
I got
audience.
smacked up against the thing, and the line was, "Oh man, that's gonna leave a mark in the morning." That's not all that funny. So instead, I said, "Oh, I think I done chipped my favorite tooth." You know, so you know when that allowed
that's
me
an
to do.
important line.
That's not. It's an important line. Well, when you have 5 teeth, you're gonna have a favorite. I know I do. So you know that's like the most fun, the most challenging. I think you know.
Great. And you have a family at home, right?
Oh, I do.
Some young kids there.
I've got 4 daughters, so God has
Wow.
a sense of humor.
Wow, that must
Yeah.
be so much fun with the voices you have at your disposal. I bet bedtime is a great time in your household.
It can be, but my eldest, when she was younger, she was like, I'd just gotten a job as the big bad wolf for Disney, and we had the Three Little Pigs book, so I thought, I'm going to give her a treat. Yeah, like your kid gets a treat, And I'm saying, well, little pig, let me come in. Not by the hair of my chitty ching ching. Daddy, could you just, read it?
Oh, no.
I'm really tired. I go, you little weasel. These voices are going to put you through college, Missy. You better hope I never stop doing,
Have any of them picked up on the voices? Any aspiring voice actors there?
You all yes and no. My daughter Raleigh's a really great actress.
Wow.
And
Runs in the blood.
Yeah, I suppose. And then the other two are just trying to get through grade school for last 20 years. So
That's important.
yeah, we're hoping for some good grades this semester.
Well, Jim, it's been a real pleasure talking to you on the
Thanks.
stage.
It's
Thank you
great
so
to be
much.
here. Thanks everybody. Have
You
a good
so
time.
many fans.
Look at all these people.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. Jim, do you have a social media anywhere they can follow you, keep up with your voices?
Sure. It's Jim Cummings Acme.
There you go.
That's all. I guess I'm on Instagram, but it's just like me and a bunch of my kids and silly stuff. Don't worry about it. But it's nice talking with you.
Can you and Darkwing Duck sign us off?
Well, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the scourge that pecks at your nightmares. I am Darkwing Duck, and I'm out of here. Come say hello.
Thank you so much, Jim.
you
Thank you
so
guys for
much.
watching.
Thank
We've got
you.
lots more coming from New York Comic Con.